Hey man, you ever look in the flatter? Yeah. Alright, set it right there. You can see everything pretty good. I'm going to do the hot water one more time. Zoomed in at this zoom. Okay, it is about repeatability, right? So I want to repeat the same test again. This time, where you can see that this object is sitting up on that little shelf that I created in the back by lifting the back of this up higher. You'll also notice that I'm putting my hose back as far as I can to add the warm water. That's why you see that kind of the handle sticking down there in the middle of the screen. But I also wanted to put the water in at a little slower rate, but I think later on I might speed that rate up. I'm not sure. I did so many of these that um, I can't remember, but I probably say it in the video. This portion here, you just hear me actually walking out my gate. I walked down to the mailbox to get my mail, and basically I wasn't even watching what was happening, but as I watch this, obviously I can start seeing how my visibility starts to get less and less and less, and I start losing the bottom portion, bottom up. Also notice my fake little boat is still in the back. The little red boat is still behind this. Again, I'm kind of using that to um, as a stopper back there, but I really don't need to on this. The water didn't really get up to um, the styrofoam striped object. That's why I put the hose further back and turn the water on at a little slower rate. We'll see if I do turn it up, because you'll notice it on the left side of the screen. If I turn that water up and exceed it, you'll see it obviously start flowing more. So again, we see the left side of that little red boat on the left side of the object actually start mirroring out and almost going invisible. And here shortly it kind of does go invisible to where you don't even see it. But you can see also how all the information of the styrofoam object is all getting smashed together, to where, again, the information is obscured. So the camera is not picking it up. Obviously, at the very top of the screen, everything stays in focus. So this weather condition that I'm creating and manipulating, right, with hot and cold water, is obscuring bottom up. And this is what we see in real life, real observations. And it's only when we get really good visibility we actually do get to see the bottom portions of the buildings and the objects. For instance, the condos that I took pictures of at many different times. Sometimes you can't even see them, and then when I have good visibility, my goodness, I'm seeing the land that these condos are sitting on at over 10 miles away. Test the water. Oh yeah, it's warm. It's warm, it's not really hot. I might leave it like that. Oh shoot. Time to shut the water off. Alright, right here you'll see me out. I'm going to give it a good squirt too. And I angle my hose back toward the camera. So just trying to push out some of that colder air. But actually I think I pushed out some of the warmer air by doing that too, because as you see, the object became a little more visible. Now it kind of rises up and down. You know, it could be because I did add that little extra water in there. But I do have a rock setting on that styrofoam object. So it should not really be, you know, rising up and down like that, being that I have the rock setting there. And again, look at the red boat. It's almost done. Rolling off. And again, while this is running, I'll go down to the other end. Hopefully, you guys can see that this is. Okay, at the end of the video, I'd like to do a split screen on my cell phone footage of, you know, with hot and cold water, where I put my finger in there and I tap on it and show where the water line is. Like right here, you can actually see my hand is being magnified and mirrored. It is above the water. Again, here, no water, little water, there's more water. Okay, so again, there's my little setup. Again, there's my little setup. No water running off of this end. I really shouldn't have to wait any longer with this. But I'm going to zoom back with the camera zoomed in on the boat here. Well,
Focus it.
Alright, as you notice, I did focus or zoom back and then focus in again, or zoom back in again, and focus in it, focusing the camera in a little bit. Now, you can still see the stripes that are there, but below it, it is being obscured. Also notice how it's like stretching, doing that miraging thing where it's like, fluctuating. That we also see in real observations of boats. And it's just a distortion pattern. And this is why sometimes you can't even focus in on it when it's really, really distorted, really bad. It's impossible to focus in on that much distortion. So always remember that, folks. Also, look at the light diffraction still going on. Okay, right here is where I did a comparison of, on the left is when it had the cooler water in it, and on the right is when it had the warmer water in it. And I was down at the other end with my cell phone, touching the bottom of this and showing that the object was still higher up. Uh, it was not in the water. In other words, it was up on that little lip that I created by raising the tip of the far end up a little bit higher. So the object was sitting on dry ground, not wet ground. In the right picture too, it's the same way. It was setting above the actual water. Again, like, subscribe, and share.